Okay, guys. Hello, guys. What's up? What's up? Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if this is even working. I cannot. Okay, there it goes. Maybe I can turn it up a little bit. Don't know if anybody's going to join me. I was hoping I would be here by 8:30, but oh, there we go. Somebody's here. Yay. There we go. That's better. All right. How's this mic up? Annalee's here. Hi, Annalee. Okay. I have to put my chapstick on. Hold on. Because I got chap lips. What's up, guys? It's Coach Mickey. I'm here with Annalee. I am live. I was going to be here at 8:30, but I ended up staying at the studio a little bit longer than I originally had planned because I was working with two of our Emerald Company soloists who are getting really good, by the way. I'm super excited about them because they're debuting their first solos ever in solo history for themselves and for our studio. So this is going to be really cool. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I ended up, I was going to do this, and I'm going to go back to this. And there's a couple of reasons why I wanted to touch on this subject. For one, I wanted to talk about the dark side of dance competition world because I think it needs to be addressed, that it does happen, and we need to be aware of it, and we need to be held accountable and responsible for it so that it doesn't continue to happen. The other reason why I want to discuss this tonight is, okay, so there are certain things in the dance competition world that really irritate me. And hi Meg, one of the things that irritates me the most is people who want to talk smack. And I literally cannot stand it. I don't know how frustrated I am with it when it happens to our kids. I guess the mama bear in me just like comes out and I just want to go crazy. So I'm just going to tell you kind of like what happened today, and then we'll go from there. And so I didn't want to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Someone I ran into, I don't know them, they had recognized me and wanted to congratulate me for what the girls had done at going to the Harlem Globetrotters game, and then proceeded to tell me that there were rumors that were being spread from other people that go to other dance studios, saying that we lied, that you can't just get an invite to go to the Harlem Globetrotter game. You have to actually submit a video, and then they decide which one's the better one to put at halftime or at pregame. All of that is a falsified lie. And whoever is spreading those kind of rumors, you have no idea what you're talking about. Just like the other lie that was also being told to me, that we are falsifying our scholarship offers, another lie. I don't feel that I, as a dance studio coach or owner, need to publish my proof of legitimacy of how successful my kids are doing. They're doing it, and they don't need to prove it to anyone. They are getting scholarship offers. We did get invited to perform at the Harlem Globetrotters game. We did not even seek it out. We were sought after. And then as far as the competition wins, we go to competitions that have more than 15 or 20 studios that attend those competitions. Some of them have like 40 or 50. So we don't go to competitions that have 2 studios or 3 studios. So when we win it earnestly and honestly. So I'm just going to put this out here. If you are that jealous of what's going on in our little dance studio, you need to get yourself together. Okay. and you need to like check yourself and figure out why it is that you feel it's necessary to knock down these kids' hard work and their extreme efforts and accomplishments. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, do you really have that much nastiness and bulliness in you that you feel it's necessary to knock down kids? Like, hurt me. I don't care. You don't like me. You don't like my daughters. I don't care. But spreading vicious and nasty rumors and lies about our children, our dancers, is not okay. And I will not tolerate it. So, as far as this goes, this is the last time I'm going to have this subject. Next time I have this being brought to my attention, I will be regarding the sources and finding out where it's coming from, and those people will be held accountable. And believe me, I will do it. Okay? So rumors stopped. Our kids earned everything that they have right now. They've earned every accomplishment that they've earned. They've earned every invite, every offer, every great opportunity has well been earned. And it is not a lie. It is not fake. And it is not farsed up or made up or hyped up. We are a small town dance studio. We work their tails off to get what they get, and they deserve that respect, especially when they achieve great things. Okay, drop it. Boom, done. All right, so because of that, that leads me into tonight's discussion. There is a dark side in the competition dance world, and I hate that part of it. But it happens in all sports. In all sports, there is that darkness that is involved in competing. And it happens. People get jealous. People get spiteful. They can get very like out to get you kind of mentality. And there is healthy competing, and then there's the dark side of it that is not healthy. And so you need to make sure you as a parent, as a dancer, and as a coach, that you know where that line is and that you try not to cross over that line. Okay? So one of the big ones that happens in the competition world, and you guys go ahead, type in and chime in if you want, and let me know what your thoughts are on this. But one of the biggest ones is the plagiarism stuff that happens in the dance world. And plagiarism is not necessarily like that there's like degrees to it. Okay. And I know for a fact we have crossed over those lines ourselves once or twice. Plagiarism basically means that you're stealing concepts, or you're stealing choreography, or you're stealing ideas from other dance people. So I look at it, there's the inspirational level, and then there's the flat out like watching the routine and doing the actual choreography. Let's start with that as a dancer. So you're a dancer at this one studio. You get a choreographed routine given to you, whether it's a team routine or a solo, what have you. You decide you don't like that studio, so you quit and you move on to another studio. Or you decide to go independent and you want to compete independently. So you're thinking, what am I going to take? I'm not with the studio anymore. What am I going to take for competition for my solo? You cannot take whatever was choreographed from this other studio and compete with it somewhere else. You can't do that. That is straight up stealing, plagiarizing somebody else's choreography that you paid a service for. You cannot just make it your own and then take it somewhere else. You have to create your own. If you're not representing that group, then you cannot take what they gave you. Like, as you can take parts, like moves and stuff, but you can't take the music they cut for you. And sometimes, in some instances, I wouldn't even do the costuming they gave you. I mean, I just wouldn't. I would not do a solo that somebody else gave me that I paid for at a different place if I moved and went to a different studio. Now, I've never had that happen to us. I've never seen that happen. I've seen it only talked about on the Dance Teacher Network that has happened to people before, and that's awful. And I feel really bad for the dancers that go through it. I feel really bad for the teachers that go through it. It's just a bad situation altogether. But that does happen. Now, here's another thing that happens in the plagiarism aspect of the dark side of the dance competition world. People taking legit routines from other people. I have seen it done. We have actually even, I will admit, we have taken concepts, we have taken song choices that other people have put on stage, and we have put our own twist on them. So you will compete a routine, and you'll be like, oh, wow, I really like that they did this clown thing. It was so cute with clowns. So the next year, you decide to do your own spin on whatever their concept was or their what they did. That is acceptable. That is being respectful. That's being like, it's almost kind of like an honor if somebody does that. It's like a, wow, they really liked your idea, so that they're going to create their own idea with it. Like you're inspiring them. So I think that one is like not as negative, but you'll see it, and you'll see some people get like kind of butthurt over it. That's a tricky thing. You got to just like, if you're doing it out of respect, that's one thing. But if you're doing it at a straight up like disrespect, that's totally different. So yeah, that's that. Then there is the straight up stealing of other dancers. And that is called coach poaching. Yeah. And it happens. And it happens a lot in the dance world. So, if you don't know what coach poaching is, so I'm a teacher at a studio. I've been with that studio for a while. I decided it's time for me to open up my own studio. So I kind of leak it to the dancers that are at the current studio, and I kind of let them know that they can go with me to this new studio or me to my new company that I'm building, whatever. So basically what happens is you take, and I've seen this happen a lot, you take half the company with you. You disappear with half of the team. You split the studio in half and you take them with you. That is so not cool. Like, I can't even, like, my heart breaks for any studio that has to go through that. Now, if there's a studio that like legitly is just not doing well, or like say the director is crazy, you know, it happens, then I understand why it happens. We are an actual family. Like, it's me and my 2 daughters. So I got to put up with them the rest of my life, no matter what. They're never going to leave. And I think that's why we kind of just stay within. Ooh, I'm just making sure that you guys can hear me. That's. Oh my gosh! Don't call people out, okay, guys. I see people on here. I really don't want to call people out, Olivia and Hope. I see what you wrote down there. Yes, there was a certain studio that had that happen too, but there is a heck of a lot more that have gone on. This one is a tough one for me, because we've actually had personal coach poaching done to us, where another studio actually came to my kid at a competition, didn't know she was my kid, and told her that, wow, you're really good. If you want to get even better, you should come check out our studio. At a competition, she did this. And then also I know of another studio that did this to one of my parents, because they knew them before, like back in high school and stuff. And they were talking to him and they were like, well, I understand why you're at that smaller studio, but you know, maybe you want to like bring them to us, because then we can really make them good. Like, I would never say that. I would never, ever, ever tell that to a kid. Don't go over there. Oh, no, I'll take that back. I have said that to some people about a studio, because, all right, I'm going to call this out. I have told people, don't go to this one particular studio, or not because they weren't good or because they didn't know what they're doing, but because they wanted to compete and they don't compete. So that's the only time I've ever said that. I've never told them, don't go there because they're bad. I've never told them, come to us because we'll make you better. I just think that's wrong. I actually have had people come to our studio and want to join our team. And I've told them, wow, you're really good. We don't do the classes like a traditional studio. Maybe you would better fit here and there. So I've actually like pushed away clients, if that makes sense. Like I've actually told people, hey, you can afford it. You've got the time. You really, really want to compete more than what we do. You want to be in the studio more than our kids are required to do. Then go to this studio and have them train you because you could really do well. And we've had some leave and we've had some come back. And that's just the courteous way to do things, I think. The respectful way. What's up? Hey, what's her name wanted me to let you know school got canceled. What's wrong? Yeah, school's canceled tomorrow, so you don't have to teach tomorrow. So anyway, I was letting Courtney know. She just walked through the door. They just got done with practice. So anyway, that's just my beef on all of that. Like I think you need to like make sure that you really are clear about how you treat people on all aspects of in the dance world. Okay. And then the other part of it that happens in the dance world too, that a lot of people don't talk about is that they do fudge records a little bit sometimes. We've never done that, but I do know of some other studios that have been caught doing that, where they'll put kids that are older in the younger brackets, or they'll put technical dancers in the wrong brackets as well. So just make sure that when you are, what's up? I got bunny ears. That when you are in competitions that if you're, say you're 15 and you're like put just 15 minutes. If you've been put in the 15-year, say you're 15 and you've been put in the 12-year-old bracket, just go talk to your coach because that's just not okay. Like, don't let them get away with like doing that kind of stuff. That's just wrong. Hold them accountable. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Don't allow that to happen. Yes, my baby Abby. Say hi to your friends. Yeah, so that is pretty much how the cheating aspect goes. Now, the other dark side of competition is the unhealthy side, and this can come from people who are not eating properly during competition season. So you want to make sure that you are staying healthy. Don't allow yourself to fall into traps where you're doing something that is unsafe and harmful to your body because you're wanting to fit into a certain costume, or you're afraid that you don't look as good in a costume. Everybody's body is different, and we need to respect it and highlight it, and not be afraid to be who you are. So if you are doing something that's unhealthy, or you know of someone on your team that's doing something that's unsafe or unhealthy to their body, make sure that you go seek out an adult or someone that can help them out. We don't ever want to see that happen to kids, not eating enough or doing things that would cause them to throw up a lot, or, just doing things that are not healthy. So make sure you stay on top of that, and remember that is the least of what you should be concerned about, how you look in a costume. And on that side of it, as well as with coaches, make sure that when you do go to pick out a costume, that you're really aware of kids at this age, between the ages of 10 to about 18. They're very concerned. Their body image is so crazy on a different level. So you got to really be aware of all the body types on your team and all the body styles on your team and the ages. Even though I'm 15 years old, that does not mean that I know what it's like to really be a woman. Okay, I'm still a kid. So make sure that you're doing routines and concepts and costuming that is not putting them in an uncomfortable or unsafe situation that will eventually feed into other things. Like, how terrible would you feel that you created a body image issue with a kid who probably doesn't have a body image problem? Like, they're not like really overweight or anything, but they think they are. And they create themselves to be put in an unhealthy pattern. That's just, you got to stay away from that as much as you can. That is our job as being educators. So you want to make sure as an educator that you are keeping the kids' safety at all times and awareness up to par. Like, be thoughtful. If you're 19 years old and you're a dance teacher, I get it. You want to look hot. You want to look fresh. You want to do something cool. But even at 19, you're not really like, okay, come on. You're not really like fully been a woman. So keep it on the down low, because the kids that you're teaching, they look up to you, and we want to make sure that we're creating healthy environments for them. That's on the food health side of it. Okay, dance moms. I love me some dance moms, but in the dark side of competition, dance moms can be crazy. I've heard of stories about people getting punched out. I've heard of stories about people like getting their cars keyed. I've heard of stories about dance moms cutting up costumes, hiding them in the trash cans, or putting them, in another room. Y'all are crazy. If you do stuff like that, you're nuts. What are you doing in the competition world if that's what you're doing? Do you really think cutting up another soloist costume is going to give your kid an advantage? You really think that? You really think that if this kid's a really good dancer and has been killing it at competitions, she's winning, boom, 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 and then you go and take that costume and you hide it? You think that she ain't still gonna beat your kid? She already beat her like 10 times. A costume is not going to make or break that kid. Going behind the coach and like going and talking behind the coach and like trying to get them to not like this kid. Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all need to like get a grip on yourselves. Let your kids fight their own battles on the stage and in the classroom. Because I guarantee if you're the type of parent that's doing that sabotagey stuff, then your kid is one of those kids that thinks that mommy gives me everything. So they're not really the hard workers. Like, why would you have to sabotage and like set up all these like plots and stuff to help your kid on this like way to have an in? Unless if your kid was killing it, they wouldn't need your assistance. Let's think of that. All right. So make sure that you're aware of what you're doing as a dance parent. And if you've engaged in anything like that, you crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Check yourself. Look in a mirror. Insane stuff. Same goes for dance moms that don't like a teacher, and they'll run her out of the studio, or maybe they'll literally jump ship and go to another studio because they have like a personal beef with the coach. It's crazy. Y'all need to like just back off. Go sit in your cars, stay in the lobby, let the dance teachers do their job. Back up. Let your kids just dance and have fun. All right. Okay. And then here's the really other thing that is another thing you need to be aware of. Be very careful when you are at competitions with your little ones, especially your little ones, the littles, even your bigs. Make sure that you get them those dance jackets. You get them things that are appropriate for them to wear over their dance costumes. You really want to keep an eye on your kids when you're at conventions and competitions, because here is a really creepy thing. And it does happen. I've heard about it. I'm really big into conspiracy stories and hearing things about the dark web and all that kind of stuff. I love like stories about aliens and all that. Not that I believe all that, but I love to like watch that. So one of the things that they were talking about the dark web is that there is the underlying like really dark thing about selling child porn. And what they'll do is they'll take pictures that they'll see online or that they'll see through Facebook and stuff. And it'll be like of your kid. Say your daughter is like doing her little leg hold and it's a beautiful leg hold, but she's in this little tiny like leotard. Crotch shot to the audience. So you don't want to be posting that kind of stuff on the internet. And you want to be really careful about where your kids are going and who they're running around with at the competitions, because God forbid, I've never heard of a story of it actually happening, but God forbid that someone take advantage of the fact that there's millions of kids running around there and that they come in and just like one of your kids out of there. It would be so easy. I mean, think about it. You've been to competitions, you see the chaos that goes on. Kids are running everywhere. Parents are kind of like worried about, oh my gosh, she's got this solo going on, and the other little kids are running over here. It would be very easy for some kind of a predator to come in there and do something like that. So be very aware of your environment. Be very aware of the people around you. Don't be afraid if you feel like someone is being shady and strange, like maybe if they're taking pictures of kids on the stage that are wearing inappropriate costuming. I mean, like, you're not supposed to be taking pictures or video anyway at competitions. That's why they have the media stuff. And you got to remember, a lot of times people think it's because they don't want other studios to steal the choreography. No, dude, it's not that. We don't want rando strangers taking pictures of our kids and videos of our kids and using them inappropriately through the internet. And that's why you got to be really, really careful of what you do with your kids and how you protect them at all times when you're at competitions or events. So the sweats are for a purpose, people, not just to put your little things on. It's to zip up your jackets when you're walking outside of the area that's not on the stage doing your dance routine. Okay. And they're also to keep your legs warm. That's what they're for too. You don't want to get your legs cold and all that kind of stuff. So just be aware of that. Just be careful and be safe. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, those are my little isms about the dark side of competition world. So I'm going to read one of these. Okay, so Amanda says, oh my God, we had a few of those last year. We aren't even allowed to watch the kids dance in the classroom unless we are invited in for that reason. That makes sense. It literally makes sense. So again, cheating, plagiarism, watch yourself on that. Eating healthy, giving our kids good, positive things to make them feel healthy about their bodies and make them feel healthy and proud of who they are as a dancer, and making sure that they're staying healthy, not unhealthy. What else did I touch on? Oh, coach coaching. Watch that. Crazy dance moms doing crazy things, thinking that's going to give you an in to, your kid winning. And last but not least, I'm watching and how your kids are when you're at competitions. Like, really keep an eye on them, protect them, keep them safe. And if you see anything shady, immediately go to the competition director. Every competition we've been to, they don't put up with that. They know they are very aware of that kind of stuff. So keep your kids safe. Okay, so that's all the dark side of the competitions. Leave in the comments if you can think of any other ones that I didn't touch on, or that maybe you guys would like to talk about at another thing. I know there's a lot of scary stories. Like, I'm in a Facebook group page that's for dance moms. And then I'm in a Facebook group page that's for dance teachers. And there's a lot of scary stories on both sides. There's a lot of like people arguing about tights, no tights. There's people that are arguing about whatever, if you're doing an aerial, you should be in the novice level, things like that. So I see it all the time. I see all the complaining. I see all the coach bashing and the teacher bashing and the coach bashing and the moms bashing. And I see it all. But I also see a lot of positive stuff too. So I like those groups. I like being a part of those groups. I like keeping things positive and moving them in a positive direction. I'm shocked by some of the stuff I see and hear. Believe you me, some of y'all are a little cuckoo. Competition is one thing, but woo! That's so crazy. My season starts this weekend. Well, good luck, Meg. Girl, Let me tell you. Have fun. That's the whole point of why we compete in the first place, is to have fun. And it gives us like that desire to, not be afraid to go and audition for colleges and like beyond, because that's what you have to do in the professional world. If you want to be a dancer, get used to competing. It's 24/7 in the professional world. You never just are like, hey, I don't ever have to take a dance class. Hey, I don't ever have to audition. Like literally you have to audition up until you're like 40 years old. I think the only time you don't have to audition is when you're the choreographer. So get used to it. Competing goes on and on and on forever if you're going to do it in the professional sense. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought. I don't even remember where I was going with this. Anyhow, so I love to hear any like your comments of like let maybe next week we can talk about like some of like what's been going on with all of you guys at competition, because I know competition season's been starting. Maybe we can talk about our favorite competitions next year and talk about those, because I'm going to a couple new ones that we've never been to before this season. So that would be exciting, and we can discuss about like things that we like to do, the top 10 things that we like, the top things that we don't like about certain competitions, and maybe even rate them. Y'all be a part of this because you guys keep coming on here every week. That would be really cool. Yeah. Okay. So I had a lot of fun talking about the dark sides of the dance world. Yeah. And again, all your competitions are new this year. Oh, that's cool. See, that would be a good topic, huh, Annalie? Yeah, that's what we're going to do next week. All right. Did you like stage one? I actually really did. That was a lot of fun. They were very professional. They went very quickly. The award thing, the only thing I didn't like about the awards at stage one, and I probably should talk about this next week because I know that I'm like rambling again. But the only thing I didn't like about it is they don't, and some of the other competitions do this too. I like when they give out like a separate category award. Like they line them up, like at Town on Parade, they'll actually give out a category cup. And that's cool because you get this like cool cup that's different than just category first place. I don't know. It didn't make it as special. Like Bravo gives a little medal for the category thing. So I like that. I wish it was just a little more like they did a lineup for it or something, not necessarily just reading out with your adjudications and then giving you a separate little thing. Hey, Jessica. Sweet, maybe we can get one with my babies. All right. So we'll talk about all that kind of stuff next week. I will have a blast with you guys to talk about it because we are going to Bravo in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. What? Okay. So I've got to go. Thanks for joining me tonight. Don't forget to leave comments and leave a thumbs up if you like this video today. And make sure you guys check out our other videos. We had so much fun at the competition that we went to at stage one. That was a lot of fun. And then the whole like Harlem Globetrotters thing was phenomenal. So it was really cool. And I loved the behind the scenes footage I got. It was just awesome. So if you've ever done something like that, please leave that in the comments and let me know like what kind of events you've ever performed at. If you got to perform the Harlem Globetrotters, that would be really cool too. I'd love to hear how your story went. Okay, guys, love you. I will talk to you next week. And I promise I'll be here at 8:30, okay? Actually, I'll be here at 9. So next week we'll do at 9 o'clock because that gives me time to like do what I need to do at the studio and wrap stuff up. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.